Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Really like the way you move. Hey, really like the way you move.
Titty.
Tonight, baby, baby, please.
Motherfucking titty.
Get you home tonight. And it's gonna be alright. Just you and I.
I'm mad that I didn't know until like, first and foremost, rest in peace to Andre Harrell. I did not know this was like in Uptown. I didn't know how much Uptown, like, you always hear like Uptown Records. I'm like, okay, I know they did great shit. I didn't even know this was them. Like, so all my music scholars, y'all can judge me and shit, but but no, man, like every time I hear songs like that too, I always like realize that like that's when like my parents was like going out partying, and like I gotta really like get cool with the idea that my daddy was somewhere dressed like Nino Brown. Like,
Facts. Hey. Nigga, my dad used to have a Jerry curl, so it was crazy.
Well, good people, we got. I mean, I guess it's a guest. It's fun, like, it's Michael, like Michael here. Michael here.
Yep.
Better hit Michael with some of these clap it up, people. Clap it up at the house, in your car, wherever you at listening. How you doing today, my guy?
Man, pretty good. Chilling, dog. Pissed off. Hey, the sneaker app, I hate you. I can't wait to one day meet like everybody over y'all shit, because y'all are terrible. I'm pretty sure the same people win the shoes over and over again, and it's just like that Cash App shit. Like Cash,
where they put like
Cash App be like, we're giving away $50,000, and I talk to so many people. I'm like, I know no one who's won, so
Nobody.
It's like, bro, what is this about? So
I never hear who's won in that shit either. Like, I know like it's not like the lotto where you have to be like, hey, this person won, but like, how do you know anybody's actually winning that shit?
But because people post, but I'm like, I know it's fake. I'm like, I know that shit fake. Like, it's no way that I know so many people. I do it because I'm like, hey, maybe one day I get lucky and get this quick $200. Maybe, bro, I know no one who ever said, oh yeah, bro, I actually got that $100 from him. No, so
that fucking sucks.
Them and Sneakers app, I hate both of them. That is what it is, man.
I can't want to smoke with all y'all.
Facts.
Apparently,
man, it's terrible. I was gonna buy the shoes to try to flip them. It's easy to do, but
I never
win.
Like I know mad niggas who are shoe niggas, but I never got into like the getting the shoes, the flipping them, and
yeah.
But also like I'm mad cheap. Like, I remember like
hey,
I'm
the same, bro.
I remember the first time I went. I was with some of the homies and they were going to one of like like exclusive like cool ass shoe stores and shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucker came back and said the shoes was $800. I was like, that's rent.
Man, oh God.
I'm like, I just came from Louisiana. I just got out of school, nigga. That's rent down there. Like $800 for some shoes?
Yeah.
What do they do?
People be at these stores paying like $500 and reselling them for like $2,000 and people buy them. I'm like,
I mean, yeah, if you know what you're doing, it's a lick. But that was not for me.
I don't have time for that. It's just certain shoes. I'm like, okay, I want to find a way to get those. But other than that, man, I can't. People do this shit every week.
I mean, if that's your shit though, like,
yeah.
like we had the shout out to Sneaker Inc. Like we had them here like a while back. Shout out to Dano and Freehand and shit, and they was up here. But like when they talk about shoes and shit, I'm like, okay. And also shout out to the homie Breeze. Like they talk about shoes like shoes is like life. Like
no, yeah.
The way like we might talk about radio or we talk about like podcasts, and they talk about shoes. So if it's like your shit like that, it's it's dope to have a fucking industry for it. But me, I'm like, man, nigga, I'm in flip flops right now.
No.
So, like, yeah, like,
hey, I just go and get like simple Vans and say, bro, I'm like, I got a homie who got
Vans as fuck.
so much like I'm like, bro, he has shoes he haven't even worn yet. Like, oh damn, I forgot about these, and I'm like, bro, that's tight, but that sounds like a problem to me. When you got shoes you never worn.
Yeah, that sneaker shit is, I don't know. Like I know, like I said, like the guys I just mentioned, like they're in the sneaker industry, so it makes sense for you to have tons of shoes. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess if you flipping them, I don't know, man. I mean, if that's your shit, that's your shit. Because I'd be like, man, I couldn't have these motherfuckers, and I'm just like, I know I paid like X amount of, and that would make it hard for me to wear them too. Like I know, like okay, like I wear Vans, so I'm like, I might if I drop, $60 something bucks on the shoes.
It ain't.
I'm gonna wear them.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they're gonna get worn down. I'll replace them. If I bought some $800 shoes and a motherfucker steps like close to my foot, we gotta fight.
Yeah, we
like,
fight.
We fighting to the death. Like you got. I know it's dust that I didn't see that came up on. Man, it's stressful.
Yeah, so I got shoes that I like paid a good pretty penny for. That it's like some Yeezys or certain J's. You only can wear them at certain events. Like you can't go out to a club or bar. So after a while, you kind of sit back and be like, bro, why did I even buy these shoes? Like I only wear them on special occasions, And
yeah. Like I could have a couple.
Yeah.
Like, but I couldn't see myself being like my brother. I couldn't see myself having like a gajillion. Like, oh yeah, I got like 10 pairs of $800 shoes. Like, nah.
Yeah. Because I always tell people, like, bro, if we go out to the club, I'm going to get the same type of chicks you get, even though you have those shoes, or you know what I'm saying? So
that's actually like a story like that is actually what made me like really go, okay, cool, I'm off. Like when I said like, I came back from school.
Yeah.
Everybody's really on shoes. So it was and I want to say like the monocolor, like red shoes, like that was like a big thing like that. So I see a bunch of niggas out, and it was like a lot of my niggas had, and they might have been, I don't even know what fucking kind. They might have been like Jordans or whatever type of shoe, but they was really, really hot, and it was all red. I go to the Vans store, just out of randomly, and they got the little mono series. So I was like, these shits is $60. We go out, have a good night.
Yeah.
We all went in the same, and when a nigga said, hey man, what are those? I said, all right, that's it. That's it right there. 'Cause you're a shoe nigga.
Yeah.
So these are Vans.
Yeah.
These cost $60.
$60.
After that, nigga, I was done with the shoe shit. I was like, you get them if you want them, but this shit is not it. I don't give a fuck about y'all.
And then you go out and everybody got the same shoes on, and it's kind of like, I can't even stand out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, then people look at you, and it's just like, I wonder if females look at dudes and it's like, oh, he a Jordan nigga, so he all on that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if they're like shoe people too.
Yeah.
Or if you like associate like, shoes with success or whatever.
Because you be like, I want me a nigga that's cool and chill. Like, oh, he got the Vans on, so he ain't going to be too extra. Like, I wonder if females do that.
Like I said, I wear flip-flops, so I'm just, I'm not even,
You be in a club with flip-flops?
Oh, my bad. What number is this?
And can you imagine you being in a club with flip-flops? That'd be heat.
I mean, there's mad chicks in hood clubs that have on flats and flip-flops, and I equate those to being the same thing.
Facts, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they don't look and say, he look like a Jordan nigga. I don't know if you care more about the brand of your shoes than men do.
Facts. That's true.
Women's shoe life is a whole different beast.
Women have websites where they can go and get 2 pairs of shoes for like $40.
Yeah, $40.
And then have the gall to look at a man's shoes. Your whole outfit costs $70.
Facts.
$40.
And they be
I can
looking
spend
bad.
$70 on 4 pairs of men underwear. How dare you,
man?
How you should have more money saved than I, man. I'm sorry.
It's a valid point.
Man, great point. You just killed it right there.
We can go to man section at Fashion Nova, but I don't think it's hidden the same. I don't think it's. I actively think it's a little different.
Cause dudes aren't even asking, bro. Them jeans, like those nice right there. Where you get those from? Oh, he's Fashion Nova. No, guys don't do that.
I'm sure there's guys that do that.
You think so? I don't know any of them.
I think
it depends. Like back in the day, if they was like a brand of jean that you knew for sure was expensive, you might ask. Or if you're somewhere in West Hollywood and you like the way that it hugs the curves, you might ask. But other than that, no, I don't see like the average dude like, yo.
Hey, bro, them fly right there. I like that shirt. Where you get that?
Yeah, I like how them jeans is hugging your lumps, my nigga. Like, it can get.
First of all, you looking at me too much, bro.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like you were standing 5 feet behind me. Yeah. You're behind me asking me, hey, what kind of jeans is those? I'm going to need you to not ask any more questions.
Hey, real talk.
You look me in my eye when you ask me a question from now on, brother.
So the things you would good is shoes, though. Dudes would be like, I didn't fly with, like, what are those? You know, if you have on something that's different than people used to seeing. So, yeah,
I think it's things like, niggas have to hit on it, like do things that make you feel like you're not hitting on them. Like, oh, I like them shoes. Anything from here, I feel like you said pants. Now you look at my lumps.
Shirt. Yeah, that's
you
weird.
My shirt, you think I'm. But now anytime a nigga ask you for your shoe size, I'm gonna say all them niggas got foot fetishes, so I'm making it awkward. For everybody.
You can make anything awkward if you really try. Like if you really try.
True.
You can figure out some way to make things awkward, and sometimes it's kind of fun to do that. Like just, I've done that the last few days with just some of my homeboys. I know in the black community, like you don't sex play your homeboys. You don't do that. You don't do no like quote unquote, hey man, that's gay. Don't do that. But that's only us because we feel like we're attacked in our community as far as our masculinity is concerned. But you go to college and you see the white boys, they be gay playing each other all day long, super straight.
Them niggas be gay playing from jump.
They are running through all kinds of women. Yeah, if you go to a baseball party in college, the baseball players are actively running through everybody on campus, and they could care less about acting quote unquote gay with one another. It's something that's more acceptable in the Caucasian community. Whereas for us,
unless you like that whatever that video was where that mama slapped the shit out of her.
Stallion.
Boy, slap this shit.
Little gay ass bitch. That boy is actively 5 years old.
He looked like he might have been a fresh 5.
Like he can't even spell gay yet, and you already smacking him talking about. Like, come on now. Now, just like I told you, now he's officially going to be gay because I hate bitches. That's why I hate bitches.
Man, facts.
I can't stand it. You act just like my mama used to act. I couldn't stand her ass either.
God, even like, I don't know, like, I know everything is personal preference for what you feel like might be effeminate or not, but at the best, you could have been like, hey, man, let's just, and even that, I don't know, man, this is a good fucking song. Like, savage.
Give him a little push or something. Like, cut that out, like laughing with it, but really be
not even that. Just like at that young of an age, it's like getting mad at your son for playing with a Barbie doll.
Yeah, true.
Like let it play out first, because I played with Barbies as a kid, but that's because I was taking the clothes off of them. Like you don't know what the kid. He just sees a toy and then let the rest of the brain just tinker for a little bit. If he want to dance. And
I'm pretty sure he was with all girls, so it's like
it's you as the mama, him as the only boy, and his sister, and you mad at him because he's trying to be like the people that are around him. Like you can't call him my gay ass. No, you don't. He don't know what that is yet. He probably can't spell gay.
What?
He like I see them dancing and I see y'all dancing and you filming, so I guess I'm supposed to dance. You ain't say, oh, wait, let me check with my mom. Mom, is this masculine enough for you before I do this for the gram?
Look, she might have fucked around and missed out on raising the next Chris Brown because now that nigga don't want to dance. Dummy.
She got mad because his daddy left her for another dude and she got triggered.
Or his daddy was a dancer.
Right.
And,
dancing all faggoty just like your daddy. That's why you're mad.
See,
like
you
don't even let that boy live. Leave him alone.
Said your daddy moon walked out my life.
Right.
You won't.
You will never moonwalk.
Right. Never again. You walk forward everywhere you got to go.
Say, wait a minute. Did you just spin? And she done slapped him.
Right.
Don't you think about that?
Like, chill out. Like, it's a thin line when it comes to raising children. Now, granted, I don't have any, so I can only say so much. But let your child be your child. Guide them. They don't know shit other than what you've shown them, and for you to get upset with them in that manner, that's just out of line, man. That's out of line. I'm all for an ass whooping, but not because you dancing. Like there's way worse things in the world that you could be doing.
And I think shit like that starts to like. How do I say? Yeah, belittles, I guess, the power of an ass whooping. Because I didn't get my ass whooped a lot. But I got, like, when it happened, I was like, oh, I fucked up. Like, whatever got my ass whooped, I was like, this is out. But if, I got friends and shit, like, this nigga sneezed, he got his ass whooped. By the time this nigga, like, 14, come on, man, because I'm finna go out here and fuck this shit up again. So hurry up, beat my ass, so I can then sneak out later.
Fact.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
You done?
There's something to be said about, like 5, 13, 18, whatever. There should be levels of, I'm going to communicate with this kid. Like, you got to talk to him. When I'm 5, I definitely I didn't have no realm. Like now, when I was like, 18 and college age, I had a more realm to go, okay, I know this is my area of, I can talk about why I didn't like what you did. At 5, it's this big.
Yeah, facts.
But you should give your child, at least in my opinion, you should give your child realm to like, communicate with you, because that's how you turn into a motherfucker who like, them niggas who have like they're overbearing of their daughters.
Most definitely.
You always know, like, I'm gonna be able to fuck that because she don't tell daddy shit because he's like, did you fucking? What is that? Is that an earring? Not in my house. I'd be like, shit.
You talking about T.I.?
One of them be like, hey, look, that's right there. I can get that because she don't. There's no guidance because she don't listen to shit.
And that's the crazy part too about like college and stuff, like the whole experience of it is those chicks, you saw that right away, like, oh yeah,
most
she about to be the one. That's
most
about to be
definitely. Yeah. And I didn't knock it. I understood, like, oh, you don't want to go home for spring break because it's gonna be strict as shit. Mm-hmm. This is where your freedom is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand why you act the way you act on campus. Now, granted, we all adults, so I'm gonna condone it either way.
Yeah, fact.
I'm not tripping either way, but I understand why you're acting because somebody didn't held you in a box your entire life, and now you have the ability to get out of it, and you like, ooh, this is what it's like.
Nah, for real.
Let me see what's going on over here. Like, you have to let your kids, and even going back to the dance thing, you have to let your kids experience different levels of stuff, because as you become an adult, you being able to dance and compete with the girls, and they like, oh, okay, I like that. That might work out in his. Let that boy. I won't say let him twerk, but it's gonna come in handy later. You got to know how to use your hips, goddammit.
Yeah, let him learn some moves.
Here's the thing. Another fucked up thing about that whole scenario is, dancing like, and all that shit. Like, she didn't grow up dating niggas that was like Turbo. Like, shit, that was like,
that's a whole nother like,
bullshit.
Masculinity back in the day was because you knew how to
dancing and crop tops and shit and spangly pants.
But it depends on where you are, because if you grow up in the Caribbean, you being able to do all that extra stuff, that's a sign of you being connected to the culture. So because we as black people in America are we hood, we don't do that type of shit.
Because it changed. Because remember, Prince and guys like Prince, Michael Jackson, Rick James was the ones who
had all
of them,
all the ladies.
So it's
high heels, booty out, and all.
It just changed. The whole culture changed.
Because Prince is just like. The idea that Prince was in a lane where like Prince has fucked more women than I've looked at.
No, fact.
Like niggas was like Prince was
definitely
like it was grown ass, like powerful, like I kill nigga ass man. I was like, yo man, like Prince is probably just tired of pussy. Like niggas wouldn't even call him Prince gay. If Prince was like, yeah man, like I had sex with a llama. They'd be like, oh, that makes sense if you're Prince.
Right.
Like
you light skinned with a perm.
Look at this
eyelashes, mascara, just popping.
Like look at this nigga
and
right
French
here.
Like,
hey, Prince is the only like nigga that you know that you would probably be like, he come up to you and your girl and be like, I need her for the night. You be like,
niggas didn't get mad.
Yeah.
Niggas
I
do whatever the fuck you want.
Hey man, baby, just
you need her?
I'll talk to you tomorrow, all right?
Right. Can I get some tickets to the show?
Yeah.
They're already in the will call for you.
This nigga.
Yeah, we'll call.
Niggas let this ride.
Bro was on stage wearing some.
Getting it. Matter of fact,
look at this shit.
Hey, bro can show up with a swimsuit on.
This nigga done. This was it. This nigga would have took. This nigga would have like just ruined families. Like,
man,
women would have left their entire. My husband's a doctor. We've got, the
But
2.5 kids.
this.
They would have left for this nigga.
Imagine dudes who took his swag, who got all the chicks too, just because you remind me of Prince, and bam, that's all you need to hear.
Like Prince was everything that just probably like just I'm gonna shit on everything in the face of what is quote unquote masculine.
Yeah,
Prince was like 5'2", figure skater outfit.
Man, fact.
His boots connected to his pants.
Prince guaranteed, and don't ask me why.
He
will
can
show
hoop
up
though.
wearing some of these.
This nigga.
And turn your girl out, and she will never come back to you again. You see these?
That is wild. I didn't know, bro. You
don't ask me why I got him. Mind your business. But either way,
he's Prince. He coming in with the Prince swag,
shit.
and it's something different. You know what I'm saying?
But I think we needed that as far as our culture is concerned, because I think we have been conditioned to be overly hard to the point to where we don't know how to accept every component that we can possibly accept for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, we're the only people, with the exception of some Latino communities and their machismo, we gotta be over hard, and then we get mad at niggas for not being understanding, empathetic, or sensitive. When has it ever been acceptable for us until we had a child to be sensitive?
True.
Facts.
We don't create that safe space for black men in our community, and then we are chastised for the same thing, which is unfair. So I think people like Prince were needed to show that, look, I can still be this overly androgynous, sexy motherfucker and still be a man. Why? Because I can. Because I have the ability to do it. Because the Isley brothers was making all kinds of babies with bell bottoms on and halter top tied button up shirts.
Agreed.
Yeah, like when anybody ever says that shit, I'm like, has anybody ever gone to look at like a Switch album cover?
Not at all.
Like,
Man.
Not at all. Because light skin was definitely in style back
see
then.
This nigga? Like, that nigga got 2 buttons down here buttoned up, and the rest is just the rest.
Ain't shaved neck, chest.
They shopping in the female section.
Navel out, harried in a big dog.
Shit.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, the only good thing, or not good thing, but I think things that the videos like that bring to light, because it is a bunch like a responsible. I think it just shows there's responsibility for all parts, because it's definitely always like, men don't let men be. I'm like, everybody don't let black men be.
Right.
You know, because this nigga's a bitch. Like,
right.
Whoa.
Right.
I think it just shows that it's everybody's responsibility to create just different spaces for niggas to feel. Not even saying this nigga gotta go cry, but the nigga should be able to go, hey man, that made me sad.
Right.
The nigga say that shit make him sad. Oh.
It depends on what it is.
Oh.
If Kobe Bryant died, you can be sad, right? But if something else happens, let's say, oh shit, I don't fucking know. Somebody ran over some shit that you care about, and it's not an Xbox.
Shit,
then you can't cry.
If your significant other said, like, hey man, babe, that hurt my feelings. Nigga, it hurt your what?
Yeah.
Bitch, that hurt my feelings.
You
You hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like, I love you. Like, you can hurt my feelings.
You
like,
catch your girl cheating. Did you shoot the nigga? Like, no. I ran out the room, hurt, upset, and I sat in my car and I cried a little bit and got my shit together. You bitch ass nigga, I'd have been in there. No, you wouldn't have. No, you would not have. You be curled up in your crib right now.
Or you might have done that. And I'm not even taking the whole outlet that you do that, you go to jail. You do that, and that just shows me that there's a good chance that you don't know how to process emotions well.
Right.
Like, you did that, like that nigga, you cheated, and then I shot the room up. Great. And we all like glorified it. That's the best way to handle that situation.
Right.
That's a whole other thing. Like, but that to me sounds like, okay, and then you went to Chick-fil-A and they got your order wrong. And instead of just going in and changing, you pulled that bitch through the motherfucking drive-through window. Like, oh, you're not hard. You're
have
crazy.
problems.
You have issues.
You have mental issues.
Because you are not emotionally mature.
Facts.
So we teach black men how to not be emotionally mature, and then we chastise them for it. Create the space for them, please. It is okay. It is definitely okay to allow people to be able to speak freely. Everybody else can do it, but for some reason, we as black men can't. And I think that kind of gets overshadowed with all the other struggles that we have going on in the world. We forget that we don't create a safe space for black men to be able to emotionally express and grow and mature emotionally to where we know how to communicate our feelings effectively.
So speaking of struggles, are we going to go super serious Ahmad struggle first, or are we going to laugh at 6ix9ine struggle first?
Part of me, and this is the dark side of me, says that we can laugh at both and make something serious out of both. But
I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
in the grand theme of Prince and Ass Out, we can go 6ix9ine.
Perfection.
Yeah. I was hoping we attacked Tekashi first.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit more. We might get a little bit more. I'm not making any promises.
That's a bit.
We'll try and be somewhat more serious after Tekashi, but on to Rainbow Ass Cheeks. Let's do it.
Speaking of Prince,
goddamn Boosie, you let a fucking rat out of jail.
Yeah, hey,
and that nigga is thriving.
So I saw a tweet that said like people are just. I mean, I think he's still thriving, making money, but is it more of I mean, that's kind of fresh to see, but is it people like just supporting him, or is it people just trying to watch a train wreck happen? Because people go, he had 2 million views, he's getting a lot of views, he's getting a lot of this. But I'm like, half of that could definitely be motherfuckers just going, I like seeing the bullshit.
But
he's a joke.
Even if that is the case,
mm-hmm.
even if that is the case, we have a whole sporting industry called NASCAR for that exact same reason.
True.
People buy tickets by the millions every year to sit and watch cars go in a circle, hoping that one of them bitches crashes. So
It's
people,
going left.
right,
Yeah.
is going left again.
It's going left.
Right. People are paying for that. It's okay if they want to watch a train wreck because people care more about drama and bullshit than they do anything else.
Yeah.
So of course they're gonna sit there and give it their attention, especially now you sitting in the house. What the fuck else you got to do?
That's true.
True.
You
Yeah.
pick, like,
I'm
a
tired
perfect
of-
time to, like,
Yeah,
Come out.
I'm tired of being upset and questioning why the fuck I'm in the house with you motherfuckers. I'm gonna just look at this other shit that I can critique and not have to worry about any repercussions.
And I know it's been like his whole situation has been explored just in depth here and everywhere else. But I to look at it in totality, like, yes, I think he's a rat and all that other shit and stupid. But also, everybody who was around him, it's like, what was the term we used? Like, where was your like street nigga acumen? Like, I'm not putting a regular, like, if I'm not even street nigga, if I'm a military dude and I got like level 7 access to I know where all the bodies is buried. You know, I'll go grab this nigga from Lamert Park and be like, hey man, like,
You with us.
you know, like, you with us. And then we out here just laying shit down, and then the UN comes and grabs us, and I really expect him to like hold his weight in there.
True.
I'm a trained soldier. That nigga sells hot dogs.
Because they were just using him because he had a name, and then he was bringing in money in. So they were like, let's have this guy around because we're going to get to enjoy some of this life, even though we're not in it. Not thinking about that aspect of if some shit go down,
Yeah.
you know,
We're
what do we
giving
expect
him a lot
to
of
do?
access. We're letting him see us do shit.
Yeah.
And thinking it's
And then they did stuff to him, expecting for him to be like, you know, I'm a real nigga out here. I'm about to just not say anything. You know, y'all did what y'all did. Like, come on, man.
I'll challenge that in two ways. The first way I'll say is because we all know that they were using him for something. The thing that comes to mind is above the rim.
True.
Like he treated Marlon Wayans like shit throughout the whole movie. You think this nigga ain't gonna come back and bite you in the ass? Like you think he's just gonna be somebody that you could kick around, you know, benefit from and treat however you want to treat. I'm just using you to get your homeboy on the squad. I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
That's the same concept. And then what happens? You end up with a bullet in your chest in the middle of the club. Same scenario here. You think we can kick you around all day long, and then what's gonna happen? You in jail and I'm free. I don't know what to tell you now. I read it. It is what it is. And when you go back to the second point of where were they and where were your antennas when this shit was going on? Like, I think that is part of the hood nigga moniker or persona that we ignore because most of them rat. There's a small percentage of the ones that we ended up vilifying because they didn't rat. It's a small percentage. There's only like one Freeway Ricky Ross. There's a ton of Frank Lucases.
Yep.
Like, they all at some point rat on each other, and then we talk shit about can't nobody rat.
Nicky Barnes.
Most of you, come on, it's self-preservation. It's a selfish lifestyle when it comes to drugs and stuff like that. It's supposed to give you some sort of family, but at the end of the day, you thinking about self-preservation and going home to your kids, and I got to do what I got to do for mines to eat. So, yeah, you going to end up taking that deal or whatever the case is, and we overlook it because we listen to what they telling us, not looking at what's actually happening.
True.
You told us that you stood firm, and I did this, and I did my time. Like, you can rat and still do time in jail, bro.
Nah, facts. It's just shorter time.
Right. You got caught with a bunch of, as much drugs as you talk about that you selling or was selling at one point in time, and you did a time in jail, and you're back here selling me an album.
You should be locked under the jail, bro.
Something, either you weren't selling as much drugs as you say you were, or you had a nice conversation with somebody that leveraged some things in your favor.
Hey, have y'all ever seen the skit on Key and Peele of the dude of the snitch? If y'all haven't, y'all need to check it out. It's so hilarious.
I feel like I have.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have, but I can't recall.
They were giving him like pizza, cookies, and he would come out and he'd talk to his homies and they'd say something. He'd be like, oh, wait a minute, I forgot something. I got to go inside. And he'd go and say something. And he came out with a miniature car. It was like, what the hell? Like, what is going on?
That sounds about right. But
yeah.
That's it. Like, that sounds, I don't know, that I get caught, and I don't be trying to sound condescending, but I'd be like, I don't know how many times I can see a motherfucker do the same shit, and I go, you know what's good for me? I'm do the same fucking thing.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna change one fucking. I might not even change the fucking story.
My daddy, my uncles, my older brothers all was on the block selling dope and did time or got shot or something. And I think I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna be a little bit different because I'm gonna learn how to rap.
And I was talking. I mean, like I was saying before we started the show, is like in this climate of hip hop. Granted, there are like, yes, if you really was that nigga, you really did that. That's one thing. But we're in a space now. You could literally just be yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's Kendricks and Tylers and fucking J. Cole's and whoever the fuck else.
Drake's. Like, look at
Right.
Drake is on top of the world, and everybody, any hood shit that he bring up, we tussy slide, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't believe it.
He is the poster child for light-skinnedness. And we accept him for it. But that's one of the reasons why I think Tekashi can thrive is because I don't think he's as stupid as we think he is.
I don't think he's stupid
No, yeah.
at
Just
all.
because his music is garbage
Terrible.
doesn't mean that he's stupid. I think he understands how to manipulate this whole media thing, and he's using it to his advantage because he's had posts like, ha ha, and I ratted, bitch. You still looking at my shit. I'm still the king. Like, he understands it.
I think even
It's
if we're
just
looking
business.
At, yes, like from business sense, if we're just looking at those who consume music, and it sounds good to be like, I'm a rider ass nigga. But like you just said, majority of these niggas is ratting, and half the motherfuckers who are buying music legitimately is some goofy ass suburban white kid who likes the idea, like, oh shit, you can do the rap shit, you can dip your toe, you can then tell, because I'm gonna super fucking tell. Like my dad's here, like I would tell like fuck, and now I have my version of a, oh shit, you can fuck around with it, you can tell and still be successful. This resonates with me like a motherfucker.
Right.
I'm really not like. Niggas like the baby out here really punching people and shooting people and getting charges. I don't want none of that.
Right.
It sounds good, but no, this nigga really is me. I could do that.
Yeah,
But you have to. I think you have to look at the top of the rap game, which is rap is so a huge part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where a lot of people look. In the '90s, the star figures were kind of guys living that life. Like you had like, and plus we didn't know as much because you didn't have Twitter, Instagram. So you had guys like Biggie, who you heard that was a drug dealer, Tupac shooting police officers and getting away with it and spreading thug life, and just all those rappers, that's the type of life that they were portraying. So that's what you had to be at the top. To where nowadays it's, like we said, Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, guys like that, to where you don't have to be anywhere near that. So you can be a guy like Tekashi, because people aren't like the hood rappers that people listen to today that's really living that life aren't big names. Like that's what people in their communities are listening to, but they're not like mainstream artists like they were back in the 90s, to where today Tekashi can come back because, like you said, the people who are buying all of the music and want to be like these people are not living that street life. So they're like, hey, I want to have 2 million people watching my live like this guy, you know? So I think it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to like I know there's artists who came out and like they're mad at him and stuff, but I think that speaks to, I would guess, like your priorities, because like you said, like there's too many people like watching him.
Yeah.
But if I'm a currency, I make my music.
Right.
I buy all the fucking cars I want.
Right.
I want for nothing. Nobody fucks with me except the people who are fucking with my music.
Right.
And like, you know, like, and in this internet age, like I've said this line like 1,000 times, like, you know, you realize how big the world is, because we right now in this room could get 3 million followers and nobody fucking knows us outside of those 3 million.
Yeah,
all.
true.
And it's perfect. Like people are shooting for trying to be famous and known, as opposed to, I just want to be able to do what I love to do and make money off it.
Right.
Yeah.
And be completely okay with that. And I think it speaks more so to a metaphor within our community in general, is an old conditioned mindset not being able to adapt and accept a new mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tekashi may be the representation of a new mindset. I'm going to do what I got to do for me, and I'm going to sustain however I need to sustain this lifestyle that I've created for myself. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all think. But that's coming from an old mindset where you had to give a fuck where everybody thinks. But in the grand scheme of things, also, the people that's living the life that they really talking about in their music, they don't last very long because their mental health is not necessarily the greatest. If you
True.
look at somebody like an NBA YoungBoy, he's not going to last very long because he's fucking nuts. He needs some help. If you look at a DMX, like all the people that were really good, that really had issues and really did what they said they was going to do, their careers didn't last long because now I have this large amount of fame and popularity plus this money, and nobody's sending me to a therapist. They're letting me do what the fuck I've been doing and paying me for it and thinking that I'm going to change at some point. No, most of the people that lived that life, they changed before they got the fame so that they could focus on something else to take themselves away from their reality.
True. Low-key, Tekashi might be like the truest ever because he's like, I'm a bullshitter and I'm going to make music about me being a bullshitter.
Right.
Hey,
therefore living my authentic
and
truth.
you know why a lot of people I think really like him is because he's a character.
Mm-hmm.
His character is easier to be than to be this hood dude, because being that hood dude, you have to really live that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to really be out here putting in work, and people have to know who you are. But being a Tekashi, all you're pretty much doing is taking that scenario and taking the best parts of it and putting it in front of everybody, and you're a superstar.
I remember when I was I was working at this school, and a lot of the kids were like Tekashi fans, but he was playing into like, okay, like NWA made like a big hit because like they were speaking to motherfuckers who were like, nobody has our voice,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
you represent us. Tekashi really represents some of these kids because it's like, I'm an internet troll.
Right.
I like him. Do you listen to his music? I mean, I do, but I like the fact that he'll get online and say a bunch of like, you're a dickhead. And I'm like, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's tapped into like his, like, even back to Currency's been rapping about weed for like 18 years straight. And I'm like, if you smoke weed, nigga, this shit, nigga.
Right.
I don't even smoke weed, but I like hearing him.
It's your niche. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like
He found
hearing
his
people
niche.
I like hearing him talk about it because that's what sounds good from him.
Devin the Dude is a hood legend because of it.
Like,
Has never broken like the big mainstream, but yet in the black community we know about Devin the Dude and respect him, and he actively I can give a fuck. Like Tekashi is really making music for his generation of kids, which grew up talking shit on Call of Duty, expecting to never see these people in real life.
Facts.
Like the same shit he's saying is the shit that kids are saying right now to the people on. What the fuck are you building? Are you fucking stupid or are you dumb?
Yeah.
Like it's talking all kinds of shit and expect to never run into you in person.
And he just made it on his TV. And
his Fortnite raps. Man.
yeah, facts. And because people don't really talk about his music, it's his antics
right.
that make, like, he found his niche. Like, he's just like, I'm gonna be the worldwide asshole and clown. Kind of like, no disrespect, Snoop, of course, is a legend, you know. But a lot of people, when they listen to his music, other than his first album, they're like, man, his catalog wasn't too impressive when it comes to it. But Snoop found the niche of, whenever you think of weed, you think of who? Snoop Dogg. He's
Right.
like the first name. So he found that niche. So like a lot of stuff you see me doing, I'm going to be smoking weed. Some of my rap songs, I'm going to make sure that I have some type of weed, you know, in the lyrics, to where that's his niche, to where whoever smokes weed, and there's a bunch of people who do it, you think of Snoop Dogg first. You're like, I want to smoke with Snoop Dogg. And that's kind of what like Tekashi is doing with, I'm just going to be just like that gamer asshole in front of the world. And he found a niche because it's a bunch of people that play Call of Duty, Fortnite, and all these other games that just want to be those assholes, whether they doing it on the game or some of them are even doing it online just to be a troll.
Right.
That makes sense.
And I think, well, even going back to Snoop, I say Snoop kind of fit into your point of, I'm going to be comfortable sticking to what's true to me and sticking to my region. Like Snoop, he makes West Coast music.
Yeah.
His beats always sound to the point to where now when you hear West Coast music, you hear stuff that Snoop kind of set the foundation for, him and Dogg Pound and everybody else during that time. Like when you think of West Coast or G-Funk or whatever, they set the precedents for that. So no, we may not have made all type of hits that could be received all around the world, but we did us, and it ended up working out for us because we stayed true to ourselves. It's the same thing with Tekashi. Not to say that he's staying true to himself, because clearly, clearly we've identified that he's not who he says he is. But as far as being a troll,
he might be nice.
I mean, now he is. Yeah, I was a part of some shit. We verified that I was a part of this gang, and we verified that I ratted, both of which that I can attest
and
to.
I was in jail, so
right.
You know,
so everything that I said that I wasn't at the time, but I fit the description now. So hey,
like he low key. Like, I don't condone his actions, but from a business standpoint, he made a brilliant move. Because, like, anybody else, you completely try to stay on top of like the hip hopness. I gotta stay authentic. That nigga said, nope, I'm gonna just hit the gas with the evil part. Like I'm gonna just go completely the other way. And now it's like if I'm a label or something, I'm not getting rid of this nigga at all. I'm like,
not at all.
Because think about this: when he first dropped, his music didn't make you say, "Who the hell is this guy?"
I swear, I did not know his music. I thought he was some of these random like people who are just famous for being famous. And motherfuckers know he makes music. I was like,
yeah, bro.
You just call people dickheads.
I would be teaching at the high school, and these kids, they would be playing like only one of his songs. I forgot what that shit even called, but that was the only song that I knew of. But next thing you know, he's on the Breakfast Club. He's on all of this, and it was because of what he was doing on the internet.
Right.
Like he didn't care who he was talking about, and it was kind of funny. So people love to laugh. That's one of the number one things people like to do. And he's somebody that you're gonna for sure laugh at, no matter what he's doing, because we see the clown, the clownness in him. So you're gonna get some type of sense of humor from it. And man, he just. I can't hate on him. I feel he's a trash rapper. He shouldn't make any more music, but I understand why he's doing it.
I don't necessarily hate him. I think if anything, if you're looking to look at hip hop and artists in its totality, I think he kind of is something that was able. You can go. He poked some holes in the culture. Because if I'm like there's legit rappers people respect that were like giving him energy, and it's like
right.
They were going. He's like, you're a dickhead, you this that, and they're going out of their way. Even now, like he touched down. And niggas are keeping this fire burning by talking about him, and it's like you are playing like he's played everybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say he's played everybody, because if we really take a microscope and look at the scope of hip hop culture in general, there's always been a Tekashi. Who the fuck was Soulja Boy?
Yeah,
a Tekashi.
Tekashi, yeah.
He did the same shit. Who say MC Hammer?
Yeah, facts.
Pumps in the bump. Pumps in the bump. With these draws on in the video.
Hey, man.
Hammer had these on but was trying to be hard. Come on. Like
he had on genie pants.
There's always been somebody who's been able to make money being the opposite of what the norm was. But yet we are the ones that continue to hold on to the norm having to be something. It doesn't. We have examples throughout this entire shit to show us. Fucking R.I.P. Little Richard. Completely different than the norm. Yep. There's always been somebody or groups of people who have done something different, Prince, completely different than what you expect, that have succeeded. We are the ones that make it difficult.
Yeah, I think that's, at least with hip hop, and maybe I don't know if R&B is the same way exactly, but definitely with hip hop, like we keep it to where hip hop has to fall into like this box of culture of like this is how a hip hop artist is supposed to act. When you look at like other genres, I like to use rock all the time when I give this example, but it's like you have rock, you have heavy metal, you have fucking
I think
punk
that's
rock.
the issue.
Right.
Like hip hop doesn't give you the option. Like you honestly really should never have to look at like I don't fucking know. I just said, who did I say before? Tyler. Like you shouldn't have to judge a Tyler by the same shit that I judge a YG for. Like I'm listening to them for two completely different purposes.
Right.
Like hip hop is always in this same box of this is how hip hop music is supposed to sound, and boom. But this is not to say he's not rapping, but this is a different type of. I'm not putting like fucking My Chemical Romance and Metallica. I'm not putting them two niggas together.
Right. Yeah. They're not the same thing.
I think
and
hip
I
hop
always felt that the way that you have hard rock, soft rock, metal, and all this different stuff, that hip hop needs to do that to where like Uzi Vert, he's not rapping like Kendrick and J. Cole, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm not even saying it's bad. It's just
they're different. Like you have emo rap, you know what I'm saying? A lot of like kids listen to emo rap. You have trap, which is a whole like I think hip hop needs to start to expand to where you have that. Like if you want your hip hop rap, you're gonna go listen to hip hop artists, Kendrick, Cole, Big Crit, guys like that. If you want your emo rap, you can go to like what Triple X was doing and stuff like that. And not saying that those type of artists can't dabble into the other ones, but they're primarily looked at for the type of music that they're doing. And that's what I think the problem is with hip hop. We have these award shows and we have the hip hop artist of the year, and then I'm a huge hip hop fan. I get upset. I'm like, why is this artist, like, why is Uzi Vert even near this conversation with Kendrick and them? And that's the problem, because we, as a culture, having just say, you know what, we're gonna have this over here, we have this over here, but at the end of it, it all leads back to the same core.
Like it keeps turning hip hop into like, at least with the award show thing, like it turns hip hop into like, to me, like a popularity contest, as opposed to, if I'm listening to Kendrick, I can go, oh, his lyrics in here was like, but lyricism as opposed to Uzi dropping, fucking 15 million in 2 weeks, and it's more melodic, and I'm like, okay, well now how the fuck are you supposed to judge this shit?
That's like
that's because we're allowing the judges to be people that aren't from the community
That's
or
true,
contribute to the community or anything. Like, they run the award show.
Yeah.
To kind of, I won't say argue your point, because I understand and agree with your point, but I think we already have that. We just don't put a label on it. And we are, as human beings, we thrive off of labels to help us understand and identify some shit. We've had people that, like, originally hip hop was supposed to be what? The MC controls the crowd and the DJ does what he does, playing whatever music was popular. It didn't matter. It's just a matter of how I'm playing it, how I'm rocking it, and how the DJ makes it sound. We've definitely progressed into all these other different realms. We've had, say, a Curtis Blow and an Africa Bambaataa. Like, we've had different types and different components of people making different kinds of music. East Coast and West Coast and down south, there's always been different components of how hip-hop or rap sounds, because we've even got that now, where hip-hop is not the same thing as rap. Being a hip-hop artist or an MC is not the same as being a rapper. They are completely different things. So we have those differences. We are just too stupid to understand the fact that we have these differences and to let shit be what it is. Because you don't rap like Kendrick, should I say that you are completely trash? No, because I don't expect you to be a lyricist. When I watch one of these low-budget C+ BET movies, do I expect it to go for a fucking Grammy? No, I don't. Accept it for what it is. Be entertained by the trash that is. Right.
Yeah.
If you understand, like, this is going to be some low-budget bullshit, just enjoy the low-budget bullshit. Don't ingest it as if it's supposed to be a 5-course meal. No, motherfucker, you didn't come to goddamn Lawry's.
You went to McDonald's.
You came to Louisiana Fried Chicken. You accept it for what it is and enjoy the shit. Like, Tekashi, lyric-wise, because I have brain cells, I can't listen to his lyrics, but he can come up with a decent beat, and he puts some nice cheeks in his video. Accept it for what it is. Am I going to play you on my playlist? No, but I'll enjoy this and ingest this for a couple minutes and then let it go and let it be what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, like, yeah, when I look at, like, I don't know, let's say the Meek Mills and all these other motherfuckers going like, I can't believe this motherfucker fucking up hip hop. To be honest, nigga, was the niggas listening to him really the niggas that's gonna listen to you? Or if I want to listen to Meek, there's nothing that makes me want to pick up a fucking Tekashi shit. I'm gonna listen to you anyways.
Yeah.
So he's really not gonna fuck up any of my money. Like, he's not gonna, like.
Hip hop is like America. How do you fuck up some shit that's been fucked up for a while?
That's a valid point.
Where are you really messing up? Like, all the greats end up killed or don't get the notoriety that they should. So it's been fucked up.
True.
Hip hop has been ran by Jewish people for a long time who can give two fucks about the black community or the music in general at all.
I think that's the issue, is that, like you said, like, we aren't in full control of it. So, like, I remember Kendrick said on the verse that, if y'all liked it when hip hop was rapping, Killer Mike will be platinum.
Right.
Where a lot of people not listening to Killer Mike, but he's one of the nicest rappers. Like, I always, like, shout out.
And he's the only nigga advocating for us when we need it.
Fact.
Politically.
Amazingly so.
Yeah.
Him and David Banner. Yeah. We don't give them no flowers yet.
And, like, I like a guy like Big Crit who, speaks real, but the industry don't. Because of who's in charge. You don't like Crit?
I love Crit. We love Crit. We just think that he doesn't get the flowers that he deserves.
Yeah, he doesn't. And it's because of the people who controlling the industry, man. They just, it's like they know who they're pushing. So it's a reason that they're doing it. Like, that's why your best bet as an artist is to hope that a Jay-Z, Diddy, Dr. Dre backs you, because they will help you get that push. Other than that, you got to pretty much be something that's like so crazy, or you can't just be a lyricist that's dope, because they're not going to give you that push. You have to be a Young Thug, short, wearing a dress.
Yeah, you have to,
something like that.
Or, like, speaking to Crit, you almost have to do, like, which is really, it's cool now because, like, you hear Crit talk about it in interviews, but how he kind of, even in his music, went through the whole idea of all rap, of all artists, you want recognition for what you do.
Yeah.
And then at some point, he kind of, like, he has, like, his moment of, I'm going to just be accepted and loved by those who enjoy and accept what I do, because I'm chasing these accolades that, like you said, like we've said here today, like these accolades are put by people who don't understand the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a crit, like, bro, like, I'm sailing, like when I'm rapping, like, no diss, like I'm sailing across this beat that I fucking made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no realm of hip hop where I'm not, there's no reason that I should ever not be in the conversation. And you just kind of have to start looking at, okay, unless I'm gonna just knock this whole system of hip hop down, if I'm just focusing on the most important pieces or the pieces that I can control, because half the shit when these motherfuckers go crazy, it's like you're chasing this weird status of what it's supposed to be in hip hop that really don't make any fucking sense. Like the bar that's set by motherfuckers who, you know, like we said, have no idea how the culture's supposed to work. Any of this shit. It's just.
And if you look at the history of hip hop, period, like everybody wasn't a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like you had some guys who were everybody knew was talented, but they just couldn't cross that road. Like when Nas first came out, like Nas is super dope, but he never reached Biggie and Jay-Z status because they just had the right team around him and were able to be commercialized compared to him, and that's just how it is.
Also, Nas can't pick a beat to save his life.
That too, but Nas got some stuff that's fire. It's just some people just don't have that commercial appeal.
That's
and
because Nas is from the East Coast, and East Coast beats suck.
Like Nas,
Nas heat over there.
Nas is good. Nas just kept himself in a
They
realm.
got heat over there.
Nas just kept himself in a realm where I have to be like, I need to want to be in a rap. Like Nas did not always, to me, like give himself the room to go. Like, okay, if we're talking about just him and Jay-Z, like Jay-Z would give me like club bangers. I got some shit I can like listen to in the car.
Yeah.
I got some shit if I wanted to hit a nigga in the face, I could like, thanks, ho. Nas just was really like, I want to really think and rap. Like if I'm not in that mode, I don't really want to listen to Nas.
He tries to have those songs. Just some people just have that it factor in it, and they just something about them. They can appeal to many different crowds. To the, you know what I'm saying?
I will say not.
I was gonna say I won't even say that it's that. I'll say that kind of fits into the point of us having different types of hip hop. Like, we know Nas is somebody that he's just here for the bars. Like the beat, it's whatever. You gonna listen to me, and I'm gonna bar you to death to a degree. I'm gonna hit you with some lyrical content. I'm gonna speak about culture, so on and so forth. Whereas we knew Hove was more so business minded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm going to reach out to all these different people. I'll let State Prop hit you with the stereotypical East Coast shit. I'm trying to make money, so I'm going to reach out to, you know, your UGKs and make a song with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that because it's a business play for him. So you have these two different types of artists. I don't expect Nas to have slapping beats. It is what it is. But I expect him to say something that I can understand and identify with.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same concept with a lot of other rappers. Who's somebody else that we know? Fucking even Cassidy at one point in time when he was popping, like it was kind of weird for him to pop up with a hit or a club banger, so to speak. But we knew Cassidy battle rapping. You gonna bar me to death?
Yeah,
yeah. That's like, I guess, like like I think that they might have had like a as much as there might be like issues with this generation as far as like hip hop or whatever the fuck comes with this, the idea that you can still kind of, if you make it work, but you can make a good living or whatever in your particular genre of hip hop, because like back then you needed to have a hit, you needed to have a label.
Yeah.
But now if there was a Nas now, there's a bunch of like avenues to be like a lyricist person.
Yeah,
That's all the fuck you got to do. Even if you was be one of them like shit, what's that shit? Smack and like URL, you could just be one of them niggas
battle,
like
right,
all I do is do bars.
Yeah.
And this how I eat. I do bars.
Because you got artists like Ab Soul, who he's with Top Dog, but he's more of just a bar rapper. So that's just his, that's just your realm. You may never go any higher than that. I think that's just depend on you and your team of people you have around you that's making your music for. And then for you to challenge yourself as an artist to be like, hey, I want to do this. I think what kind of like hurt Nas is that his first album was so great the way that it was that people kind of didn't want to see him, do anything different. And I think that kind of stunted him. Because it's like, he do something different. You kind of like, Jay-Z came out with that player cool shit, you know what I'm saying? Me on the boat, having fun. That translates.
And hip-hop has been kind of unforgiving.
But that's what propelled Jay. Because we forget, like, that wasn't his first album. Like, he was around for a while.
No,
on
but
the
like
East Coast, they
Reasonable
fuck
Doubt.
with him. Yeah, but
Reasonable Doubt was
certain
fire.
things propelled him to a nationwide and worldwide platform. But he had already been around.
No, yeah, he already was
It
that
took
guy.
us some time. It took us some time to embrace him because it took his foresight to understand that I have to give these idiots something that they would prefer and that's palatable to them. For Nas, we, again, going back to what I said earlier, we're too stupid to understand differences.
Yeah.
This is dope. I expect this from you for the rest of your career. You can never change.
Hip hop
Yeah.
is very unforgiving
Facts.
with you being able to change and maneuver as an artist. Like, this is you. You're supposed to be this way forever. And it's like, like shit. Or speaking of a Hove or a fucking T.I., like, yeah, bro, like I was in the trap, but like now I'm a millionaire. And
Right.
now I have like a family and a wife.
Right.
And I go home. Like,
And that's when we say that your career is over,
Yeah.
which is stupid. Like, you lost the ability because you got some money. You have more money to put into your craft, but because you're not struggling like you were before, I don't think it's going to be the same. It's not supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I have grown. My money has grown. My platform has grown, and my skills have gotten better because I've done this for a longer period of time.
True.
So now I should know how to change this in multiple ways. But no, I don't want that. I want you to stay the same because that's what I like. Okay, take your fucking chicken strips and fries and you deal with that.
That's what Hove said. If you want the old Hove, listen to my whole album. So
Right.
it's the realest thing ever, man.
yeah.
That's what makes Kendrick so impressive because he was able to kind of be three different artists, I guess, because he introduced him from Compton. Then the second album, it was like an Afrocentric themed album. Then the third one was kind of like, all right, it's for the radio.
You
and
did what an artist is
stuff like
supposed to
that.
do. I get to watch your progression.
Yeah,
Right.
as an
facts.
artist, like I enjoy it, but I mean, I guess if you're like, I remember like when mixtapes were a big deal.
Yeah.
And you listen to somebody and you would listen to their mixtape, their first mixtape, and it's like, okay, this is kind of trash, but you go, okay, this person got whatever, and you waiting on the next mixtape and they got better,
Get better,
and
yeah.
better and better. So like I'm interested in the progression. Like I enjoy watching.
So you gonna
this.
get that third Tekashi mixtape?
I didn't get the first one. So like, but in an artist I fuck with, like I remember getting Crit's like first mixtapes and watching his progression as an artist and so on and so forth. So that's something as a fan, you buy into this person now. People are fucking, like even Crit said that shit like he was on an interview with the Breakfast Club and he was like, yeah man, this motherfuckers who came to my show and I saw them, they met at my show like first date. Nigga, 6 shows down the line, they're like, we married now. And now we have a connection.
Right,
Like,
right,
it's
right.
like, there's a whole thing that comes with hip-hop and the culture of it beyond just, like this I mean, if it is that to you, like music can be a thing bigger than, I just like how this shit slap my ears. It's that too.
Yeah.
But that's because we digest it with a selfishness. We forget that this is somebody else's artistry.
True.
Like, do we talk shit about LeBron because he does the same 3 dunks all the time? No, we herald him as the GOAT.
In the dunk contest, we would.
In a dunk, exactly. But that's a different confine.
No, yeah, true.
Within the scope of the game,
Mm-hmm.
you just scoring the points. We're
Yeah.
looking at you for your ability to dominate whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with whether or not Larry Bird, what is he known for? 3-pointers. Is he known for a bunch of other shit? No. Magic Johnson, assists, passing the ball, creating plays. Is he known for much of anything else? No. Like everybody within the realm of sports, they're known for being good at one or a couple of things. But somehow when it comes to hip hop, we're just upset if you try to venture outside of your norm.
Which is kind of weird because like to make that comparison, like sports is in comparison to like hip hop or an art form, it's a very rigorous thing. I have this system. It's 11 or 5 or however many motherfuckers. I need you to do this, because there's a system. Art is like, nigga, this is
Right.
you can.
Yeah.
It's anti-art for you to stay in this
Within this realm.
Yeah.
I can, as an artist, as a painter, I can dip my nuts in pastel paint and slap it on an easel and it can be called art. Or fucking duct tape a banana to a wall.
Sweet Jesus.
And that's art. But for some reason, within the realm of hip hop, which is an art form, I can't do something different. Who created that? Duh. The people that'll go order chicken strips at Fry's at fucking Morton's.
It's the people who don't even take part of it because
Right.
it's just different.
Yeah,
But-
it's okay.
Hey, but that's
Let
how
it
it was.
Let it marinate.
Hey, that's how it was when, like, you know, when Outkast came on the scene. You know, you remember at the award show they were getting booed because, you know, sometimes people don't like what's different. They just
Right.
want to, you know, get the same old thing until you make them like what's different.
Right.
And
That'd be
sometimes
another-
people can grow.
Speaking of Outkast, that'd be another thing when I look at hip hop because I'm like, you have these visuals of like, okay, they were cool. Then this nigga came out with fuzzy pants and goddamn shoulder
wig.
pads and fucking bars, and then became like heralded. There is no conversation. Andre ain't dropped no shit in years. There's no conversation where anybody mentions they top 5 to 10 and his name is not in it. And it's just like, okay, well, like you have all these examples of where you can just be whatever. Not to say
Right.
you got to come out here in a fucking neon thong and rap,
Right.
but you could, like, whatever you think you want to, like, you can do that.
And
And 9 times out of
furry pants on and a blonde wig, and
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap circles
rap
around you.
my motherfucking ass
that
off.
that's why I think they hate on Tekashi. It's just the fact that he can't rap, so it makes it look like he's making a mockery of it. And these guys is like, man, I put so much to get in this game, and this dude is getting all this notoriety. And have y'all listened to his music? Like, he's in there saying 5th grader shit. You know what I'm
Right.
I
saying?
think they just focus too much, I think, on the notoriety and the white hotness because everybody's big. Speaking of Hove, we just sat here and talked about it. Hove was a long game nigga. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
We happened to live in the space where Hove was like white hot, but Hove says in his own interviews, and you watch, like, there was Gumby Fade, Gold Teeth Hove
Right.
that
Yeah.
got to here. Tekashi is not like,
He knows he's not going to be
Yeah, it's
around
not
for very long.
longevity.
I'm
But
gonna pull all this money in that I can.
Yeah, until I
But
can't
that's
anymore.
again, that's us, stupid us, not being able to accept it. Because what is the scope of hip hop right now?
To be honest, bro, it's all over the place. It's no real like this is hip hop. Like it's all over the place.
How many of these artists within the last 2 years would you say are going to have the long ball game, like a Fabulous or a Hove or somebody like that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, nobody with a Lil.
And
It's like-
that's a new
That's
thing.
the scope of the game right now.
Yeah,
the
true.
scope of the game is to get in, get your money, and get out in a short period of
And
time.
they say that though. These fools be like, I'm
Yeah.
not a rapper, dog. I understand that rap is a muddy business. I
Yeah.
understand I can come here, be popular, fucking scoop in as much money as I can, and I'm fucking out. Who
That's
said,
why
like,
they aren't really making albums. They just like, bro, I'm gonna
Right.
just put out singles because
Yeah.
you know, an album you get to really listen to and be like, this dude is trash. But if I just give you banging singles, I can put out 10 of those and get enough money. And then, like, you know, it all started like way back, like we said, with Hammer, but guys
Right.
like Jaquan with Tipsy and stuff like that.
But they planned to have a career. They got fucked out of the industry.
no, yeah, MC Hammer
The
did.
new people don't. Where's Little Nas X?
True, yeah. They just plan to get their bag.
Put somewhere rich.
It's like
with
Yachty.
some other
Yachty came
nigga,
out.
you know?
Next thing you know, he's on Target commercials. It's like, bro,
Right.
I've never heard an album of yours.
People come into the game, and how do you end up creating your own label all of a sudden? Because you don't plan to be here for
Yeah,
long.
facts.
People learn from 50 and Hove. You rap for however long that you can, and you take that money and flip it.
Mm-hmm.
How can I create opportunities for other people and make myself be able to bring in an income without having to rap? I
True.
like music, but do I want to rap forever? No. I'd much rather get super hot, go back to my area, put on my homeboys that want to rap, let them do their thing, and me chill and come back, collect money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hip hop's definitely one of these things where like it continues to get called a fucking young man's game, which cuts you out of a certain realm of shit after what 35. Meanwhile, Bon Jovi and them niggas gonna die on stage.
No,
with new
yeah,
music.
facts,
Like
yeah.
fucking Ozzy Osbourne just dropped a new album. And probably will be on stage having to like walk on those little conveyor belts that you
Yeah.
get at the airport.
Ozzy
'cause he came
Osbourne
on-
can't tie his fucking shoes, and he can still make a damn album. Why? Because people outside of the hip hop community are still going to accept him and his talents for who he is. Like I said, we are the only dum-dums that can't figure it out.
Because think about it. No one's going to a Jay-Z concert when he's 60 years old. You know what I'm saying?
hologram the motherfucker.
people
Will go, but they're not going to expect him to have antics. They're going to expect him to sit
No,
there
yeah, just to.
and just rap.
But
and
you
call
won't
it
have
a
like
day.
it'll be like it won't be a younger crowd. Like with some of those old rock and roll singers, you still have young people who show up, and I think that's the difference between like rock and hip hop.
I know that was discussed here before too. I know hip hop is a very young genre, so a lot of them haven't had the opportunity to go. You know, kids was listening to Bon Jovi and shit at like 5, so they was fans at young ages. So now, even with how quick hip hop cycles out certain stars, it just hasn't been enough people to go like, I love Tupac because like if Tupac showed up tomorrow and was like, I'm doing a concert, I listened to Tupac my whole life from my father.
Yeah, for real. So
a lot of people haven't had that yet, for hip hop as well because it's such a young.
Lil Wayne is gonna be a guy for sure that. He can be 7 years old. People still going.
But that's because Lil Wayne, the concert he would have done before the one at 70, he would have been 60. Like he'll pop out every 10 years. So, oh hey guys, I'm still alive.
Snoop too. Snoop, you still go watch Snoop.
I think Snoop still wants to be young. Yeah. Like I think Snoop just wants he adores being in the public eye to a degree to where he constantly finds ways to insert himself into different cultures and niches because he still wants to be around.
Snoop Lion.
Right. Somebody like Jay don't want to be around.
No, Jay just trying to make money.
I don't want to be here.
That's like that is,
do a concert.
I don't give a shit.
I don't want to look at you.
When women like post like, you know, bagels and this, that, and the third, I was like, I don't know what y'all looking for, but that nigga found another person who's equally a millionaire. We gonna drop our shit and we gonna disappear.
Right.
I saw this fucking video or meme and it was this woman picking up a couch and it was like, this is Meg Thee Stallion promoting Savage by herself. Beyonce was like, here you go, bye.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the goal. Like we can just be rich and fucking buy an island and nobody know what the
this is going to
like.
Keep me relevant without me having to really be a part of it, and I'm going to help propel you, and you will herald me as the queen, and I don't even have to talk to you.
They live
long.
Such an amazing life. Blue Ivy is 27. Like who knows?
Yeah, and that's the way that you should want it. But a lot of people get caught up in that fame. You know what I'm saying? And
what does fame mean when we know that all the really famous people are either broke or committed suicide?
Yeah, and that's people don't understand.
Why do you want that self-destruction?
Or you just deal with so much like Tekashi. Tekashi's famous. He had 2 million people live, but he has so many haters. And it's like, why do you want that? To where you can just do you, grind, make as much as you can, and then be low key.
I got gas for coming here. If I'm Tekashi, I can't do that.
No, yeah.
Like I walked in to be like, hey, put this on.
Did y'all see the chick who was like, Tekashi lives in Long Island right behind my house? And she's
oh, yeah. I saw that earlier.
Yeah. So
like, does it really matter? But even going back to the whole fame thing, because we are in quarantine, the biggest thing of quarantine is what? The versus battles.
Yeah, versus battle, yeah.
Who are all people that have longevity.
Yep.
Not fame.
Yeah.
They had fame for a short period of time. One of my favorite ones is T-Pain versus Lil Jon.
T-Pain is
they are not super famous right now. They're known, but are people talking about them on a regular basis that aren't their regular fans? No. Oddly enough, though, when you put them on and they have a battle and you listen, like, damn, y'all been putting out good music for a long ass time and got bread to do it. And have different personalities to touch in different realms. Lil Jon can build a school in Africa and come here and talk about getting fucking plastered and slapping ass cheeks.
DJ like random fucking trap shit and everything.
Just I can do all these different things and thrive in them all, but I'm not famous.
I'm the king of crunk and EDM. What
EDM.
You
that's
can put
crazy.
that on your fucking resume, like.
And T-Pain was making music forever. Bro, you realize how young he was. Like,
T-Pain did that shit. Like, those 2 albums that was like, you know, like, Everything Must Go. He was throwing away shit that I'm like, there's a couple hits on here that are, like, better than I just made it. Like, if I don't.
I was bored in the house, and I'd fucking sniffed an Adderall, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I just came in here, and I just made a whole fucking album just because I was bored. And I don't plan on releasing it. I just like to fucking play it when I'm creating
I think
cars.
That's what, when it comes, just to take it back to Tekashi, what makes people, they don't understand that aspect of it, that the people who are great realize I'm gonna be in this for a long time, so I don't need to do all this wild shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's the long game.
Yeah.
Like,
To where guys like Tekashi and some of these like other rappers have come and gone, like they have to come out here and do this because their talent isn't going to like elongate their career. So it's like I have, what else can I do that can give me the greatest 5 years run I can get? So when my run is done, I done stacked up enough money to where I'm good. And that's why, that's why he's doing something like this. I guarantee if he was a great artist, he wouldn't be doing any of this because he's like, bro, my music talk for me. 50 was doing this exact same thing, but 50 knew that I can make great music, so I can step away from doing all this, and that's what he did.
50 is King Troll.
Yeah.
And again,
he still does it.
He still does it.
Yeah.
And it has helped keep his career alive. Even though I'm not doing music, you still watch anything I put my hands on because I'm still the same Bully 50. I'm using, he can have a,
drink this drink. You this shit.
He can have an interview with somebody and speak profoundly in comparison to how he spoke when he first came out. He was thinking, like, fuck about these niggas, I'm trying to get this money, like you can't trust these mother, like he was untrusting 50, whereas now you can see in an interview his growth, but then he can go back to trolling because that's what helped him. And going back to say your Tekashis and your Soulja Boys, he's endorsed both of them. Not because he believed in their artistry, but because he understood business and money.
Facts.
And I'm going to troll as well because people understand me as being big bad Bully 50 that actually can spit, and I'm going to endorse this antic that has no talent. What the fuck are you doing, 50? Exactly what I want you to think I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make money off of it. And his career's lasted longer than both of them. Like, certain people understand how to make these moves. Like, the theme of the day, Stupid Us, we expect the same shit.
Facts.
We expect this one thing that we got comfortable with, and I can take this in so many different directions, but we're gonna stay away from those things today.
I mean, for today,
for today,
I know, like I don't give a shit. We Tekashi'd it, but we expect shit differently. I always look at that shit with hitting the motherfucking gas now, folks, with this Ahmad shit. Like, for me, because I've had like about 5 conversations about this, and it always comes out the same way. I really, 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 and I'm not saying anybody got to get their motherfucking, battle axes out, but I'm kind of not saying that. But it's the idea of when you say the same thing the same way is catering to the sympathies of a bully or an oppressor. Like, I really get tired of, I understand the run with Ahmad thing, but that all is like, let me make you feel bad. But if I'm a motherfucking bully, bitch, I don't feel bad for hitting you. I did what I did because that's what I do.
Right.
So you out here trying to like have all these things to make us feel sympathy and feel bad. We don't. Like, this is what we do. Like, we fuck y'all up. Y'all cry about it.
It's part of the same cycle.
Yeah.
All of this, the cycle is the same with all of these situations. And it actually does segue and fit into the conversation. The same expectations of what we think something is supposed to be. How many people that look like us in this country have been killed, beaten, or oppressed simply because of the color of their skin? And we act like it's something new. I'm so tired of saying it. You ain't that tired. Because if you was really that tired, you would really do something about it. And running 2 fucking miles is not going to do something about it. You should be doing that anyway because you've been sedentary all fucking quarantine, eating up all the snacks. You should have been running miles to begin with. This is for you. This is not for him. This does nothing to bring about any change. It does nothing to help his family. It does nothing to help him. This is so that you can feel like you're contributing to something in some kind of way. And also, we're being selfish as fuck and using it as a way to bring notoriety to ourselves because I'm doing it for Ahmad. Then why the fuck do you have to post it?
Facts.
You're posting it for the attention because it's a moment for you to be able to capture some sort of notoriety. You're not really doing anything for the cause, because if you really want to do something for the cause, either burn this bitch down or we can go back to Africa and call this shit a day.
Yeah, because like the like even me, like I saw it posted. I posted it on the pod page, but like like you said, like the running, the posting, the fucking the social media, like we did a thing. But like we spoke about earlier, like you have people like if you're somebody who's trying to disrupt things but still follow the rules, so to speak, Killer Mike has been giving out just blueprints on how to run this system within this system as much as a motherfucker could tell you
for 8 years.
Like in the most point blank way you could do it. And then like, but like to your point is like you can't. I don't know. Like there has never been any time in anybody's history that you can achieve freedom or equality. Like no, that's never been given to anyone. So people always like I mean, and I've never said this in a way that like I'm completely oblivious to what the potential of this statement means, but you might have to like take it from them. Like nobody's going to give it, and that requires you to like.
I'll argue against that a little bit, because in the grand history of America, it's never been given. But there have been people throughout history that have tried to take it or taken it. And what happened? They got bombed, they got framed, they got jailed, they got whatever the case was. Because people understand the power of somebody else realizing theirs and taking some shit that is rightfully theirs to begin with. So if everything that we have tried has not worked, I'm not saying that to say to don't try, because I know there's some fools that would think that I'm saying don't try. But we have to try something different.
Yeah, something new.
The things that we haven't tried, like I just said, Marcus Garvey gave us an option.
Pretty good one.
Yeah.
We ain't listened to that bitch at all. We just act like we ignored everything he said. He said lead. The Panthers tried to take some shit.
Yeah.
Malcolm was talking about taking some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he switched and said, you know what? This ain't the move. We need to figure some other shit out. Like everybody has had some sort of Nat Turner. There have been plenty of people that have tried to take some shit. And what has happened? Nothing. We have waited and hoped that empathy would somehow enter these people's house. And what has happened?
So against that move.
Nothing. We're running 2 fucking miles one day, hoping that this will change. Nothing. We started Black Lives Matters. What has nothing?
Yeah, like I always wonder, like as a group, that's one thing that like any other group, racial group, people of color, lack of color, polka dot colors, anything happen, them motherfuckers go, hey man, I don't care what funny hat or funny chain you or what building you go pray to, whatever fucking thing to. When this shit happened, we all load up. We still, like with every example you said, it was like Nat, Marcus. There's not only did nobody ride with not enough people ride with them, you could find an auxiliary group that was like against them in their own shit. And like I'm like, I always look at us like, how long do we go?
And I think that's an issue. I think that
we never ride like
we never like-minded. So we're pulling so many different ways that we can't get to one specific, goal. Like you can take it like to the 60s. You had, Martin Luther King's movement. Then you had the Black Muslims. It was like, it's 2 different pools. So it's like, how could we get all the people to come and be a part of the same cause where it's so many different pools,
But that's part of the issue, because even staying with the example of Martin and Malcolm, when they both decided that their extremes weren't going to work and they started to come together and to understand some new shit, they both got taken out.
Yeah, that's when they killed them, yeah.
We are the only, us, people that look like us, brown-skinned folk. We are the only people that don't have our own systems to benefit us.
True.
If you look in the grand scheme of, say, L.A. County, we are the only race that does not have our own neighborhoods that are self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to a Latino neighborhood. They got their own markets, their own this, their own that. Fine. Jewish community, fine. Asian community, fine. Armenian, Middle Eastern communities, fine. Black communities, liquor stores that we don't own.
And this is not even
chicken places that we don't own,
and
we not making the chicken.
And that, I just think that's because
fucking Roscoe's.
Yeah,
dog. This ain't even a diss.
Roscoe's is part of black culture supposedly in LA, and the cooks are Latino.
The Asian community is so
not that
fire.
I'm knocking that, but we don't have anything that we are self-sustaining.
This is purely from a place of like, I respect and support what y'all. It's whole shopping centers I don't know what the fuck. Not the fucking banner don't even come in my language.
It's all
yeah.
Korean.
Bitch,
All
this
Korean.
is for us, nigga.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
come in here if
you
want.
can come in here and spend the money if
spend
you
your
want.
money.
You gonna have to ask me what you buying because you can't read none of it.
Yeah, and we get up here and act like we have to cater to. No, you don't, nigga. Do
No.
it for us.
I gotta go to the
For
Beverly
us, by
Center.
us.
Right. I gotta go
Exactly.
to this mall and support. I
Yeah.
gotta go over because we care more about the label and sitting and falling into this conditioned mindset of assimilation.
Yeah, true.
That's part of our, separation. That's part of what's been plaguing us for so long. Is like we feel like we have to assimilate into this culture, and we are still trying to do that today. Where other people, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's what I think. That's what made the 70s like okay for good for black people because our people were more willing to, man. How can we do this together? To where nowadays we can't get the big time celebrities to come back and say, hey, let's go and build this up. Like the Crenshaw Mall, I believe they just sold the Crenshaw Mall. Am I right?
Yep.
Just imagine if our people were to come together and say, we're going to make this our mall so our people don't have to drive to Beverly Center. They don't have to go to Torrance to go to Del Amo or this stuff. We're just going to make this ours. And for some reason, even when situations like this with Ahmaud happen, it's still like our people can't just come to one cause. It's always
because we
people
don't
pulling.
see the importance in ourselves. Because Magic tried.
That's true.
I put a movie theater. Y'all didn't have no movie theater. I put a movie theater
True.
right next to this mall. And what happened? Y'all still wouldn't go inside the mall, which is only 100 yards away from here.
Yeah, true.
Y'all still gonna take y'all ass all the way to Culver City to the Fox Hills Mall because that's where all the more expensive things are that make you look cool. But you got this Crenshaw Mall right here.
Yeah.
What do you do in it? Fight.
I think and I think there is like a take any opportunity to bring up a good nip point, but the idea that everybody loves saying like this marathon shit,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's a really good, but the idea is that this will not, to take it deep, this will not necessarily what I want to do, what I'm looking for. It might not benefit me. Fuck, it might not benefit my son. I'm doing this potentially maybe from my grandson.
Right.
We like a lot of like immediate gratification, like support. Like even when we talk about Martin and Malcolm, where their points started to converge. Sounds very Killer Mike-ish, where it's like we don't have an economy right now. We need to be able to, like Martin said, we want to have our own economic independence, so we have to be able to build that. And then, like, you take a little bit of Malcolm, I need to be able to protect this economy that I'm building. That takes time to build, and I might have to sacrifice myself in building that so that we can grow as a people. But the idea is people first. Everybody we talked about, when you hear them talk about their cultures, you hear a Mexican person talk about being Mexican, fucking fire.
Right.
You hear an Asian person talk about whatever Asian community they're part of, fucking fire. Us, black, that fucking thing is this weird
You know
amalgamation of-
why?
It's popular and it's cool for us to delve into pro-blackness. But everybody that we've mentioned, I'll ask you this question. Who did they pass the baton to?
Yeah, true.
Who did they pass the baton to? We don't know.
Yeah.
We can talk about Nip. One man running a marathon does not mean that it's continued. Because, newsflash, that nigga marathon is over. No disrespect. Rest in peace, Nip. But he's no longer running. Who's carrying his torch now?
Yeah.
Because the city's not opening that square back up. And what are we doing about it?
Yeah,
If he was such a hero for our community,
True.
why are we not fighting to open it back up?
True.
What are we doing? Nothing. That baton is just sitting there. Somebody ran their marathon, placed their baton on the ground, and nobody's picking it up. We're just sitting there looking at it like,
and that's where
that's a nice baton.
that's where
I'm glad you did that for us.
facts. It just show you that our people don't come together because it's all these artists, all these athletes who want to wear like the Crenshaw gear, and you even have like the people from the LA area, and like you said, no one's doing anything about
Right.
that. About saying, man, I want to continue that. We're gonna open this back up. We're gonna build these restaurants that he was trying to build, these healthy restaurants in the hood. But it's just for some reason our people cannot come together and say
But
we're going to
Because
give everything.
we support it as long as it's a fad and it's popular to support it, but we don't really
And it's- I
understand
think
the
even that-
investment that comes with it.
Yeah,
True.
that it's safe. Like
Yeah.
Nip did that, and it was on Nip's shoulders. But anybody else from like any of these other cultures, they'll do it, and they're all ready to kind of
Right.
ride with it. It's like, okay,
Right.
Nip did it, and that's cool. But there was no reason that Nip shouldn't have been special. It should have been Nip. It should have been fucking East Coast rapper over here, or at least it should have been Nip, and every West Coast rapper should have been on the same shit. All of the West Coast should have been fucking just marathon the fuck out.
But we have to talk about what that person's doing more than the popular shit, because we talked about Nip's music more than we talked about what he was doing for the community until he died. And then to make sure that his narrative wasn't just LA rapper / gangbanger gets killed, we started talking about what he was doing so that we can help try to change his narrative. But we're not paying attention to our own. There are people that have been doing tons of wonderful things for our communities. What are we doing to talk about what they're doing for our communities? Nothing. I bring up this example all the time. Me being a football person, work done, highlight athlete in his time, created tons of homes for single mothers that were underprivileged from low-income families. I think he created like 25 homes for them specifically. Do we know about that? No.
It's like, I don't know
we
if y'all
talk about him
fans.
as an athlete, but that's it.
Yeah, I don't know how big of basketball fans you guys are, but like Jamal Mashburn, if you guys know that name.
Yes.
This dude is invested in so many like businesses that nobody knows about it because he's not Shaq or any of these other guys. And we don't do enough as far as, like you said, bigging those things up. You know, like you said, like for Nipsey, it was all about him being a rapper for people that were away from LA. Like in LA, we knew it, but we weren't giving him that super special love for what he was actually doing in the community, especially people in other regions, because, you know, maybe they didn't look into it or it just didn't matter to them. But we have to do a bigger job of showing love to that aspect of our people, and then coming together to figure out this how powerful black people are. When we came together and voting, we got a black president.
Right.
So if we were to do that with other things that needs to be taken care of, I think that we can get a lot done.
Absolutely. There's just this disconnect with everybody like coming together. It's, you'll even hear like, you know, if you talking like the family function at the barbershop.
No, true.
You know, it's cool. He doing this shit. I ain't. It ain't gonna be no me. But if you know, I respect what he doing. Why it ain't gotta? Why?
Right. Yeah.
You know, like everybody, like we want to benefit off of these things, but aren't necessarily prepared to do the sacrifice that it takes. This is a fucking team effort, my nigga.
That's
like,
the key word: sacrifice. People don't want to sacrifice.
They don't want to sacrifice. Like I said, going back to Nip, we all wore the Crenshaw gear because we wanted to show how cool it was to be from LA. And then when he died, we wore it because we wanted to show that we supported Nip and what he was doing. But at no point in time are you really to make the sacrifice for Crenshaw, because all the quote-unquote fly cripping that's going on in the Crenshaw area, y'all motherfuckers can't put y'all money together to help buy that complex and open it back up.
Facts.
Or continue the things that he was doing. You just left it up to him. There's a lot of money in that. It may be a poor community, but there's money floating around there.
Yeah, of course.
But you're spending it on yourself, talking about what somebody else was doing, instead of investing in that same sacrifice and picking up the baton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I put a lot of not onus or responsibility, but you know, you look at, I'm not a millionaire, but I'm still very okay with doing my part. But if it's like, damn, nigga, like I know for a fact, like I've seen you niggas in person. It's 5 or 6 millionaires within like a 10-block radius. Like y'all couldn't just
like
piece up. Yeah.
Like, you know, like fuck, if you take that chain, you take those shoes, and you take that 7th Lamborghini you bought, just don't. Like you could those couple purchases right there, we could do some shit.
There's plenty of people within, I'll say the hood. I don't want to say black community because not all black communities are hood, and I need people to understand that. But there's quite a few dudes in the hood that's trying to find a way that'll put their money together to buy a brick, then they will put their money together to buy something that's going to be more fruitful for them.
True.
And that's a problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and like once again, like if you're in a position of being that particular artist or somebody who's affluent, and you have that quote unquote like hood pass, don't just come here to shoot your fucking videos, my nigga. Like, if you can come here and say, hey, y'all want to go in with me on some this, that, and the third, now you've kind of legitimized, like, you want to put niggas on. Nigga, put them on for real. Like, let's
And I don't mean put you on as a rapper just because I'm from here and I created my own label. I don't mean fucking back to school, bringing backpacks of supplies or fucking turkeys and Thanksgiving. There's way more things that you can do to create opportunities for your
businesses, jobs that you're giving people.
Please do something. Like, one thing I've always appreciated say about Magic Johnson was because me growing up in South Central in the LA area, Inglewood area, he created jobs by just open to Fridays. Now black people got a place to go kick it, and I'm employing other black people. I opened up the movie theater. Same concept. He had the 24-hour fitness at one point in time. Same concept. What did we do to preserve all those things?
Yeah.
Nothing. None of those things have his name on it anymore.
And that's why I think, just to take it back to Ahmad, what I'd like to tell like the kids, high school kids, I said, if you really want to make a difference, be great and make sure that you piece up with those that you come up with to add more to where you come from, because a lot of people make it and they just leave, and then like you said, they come back and they may shoot a video or take pictures there, like, oh damn, they do still rock with their community, where it's like, no, what really lets me know that you still love your community is you come from there, you wanted to see it become better, actually do something to make it better.
Right. Not just, he the homie from around my way and he could rap really good, so I'm going to put him on. No, take that kid that's really good at fucking creating the content for your page. Mm-hmm. You know what? We all street family, but I see this one kid in my family or this one kid in somebody else's family is real good at creating content or editing. I'm going to give you a job.
Yeah.
Come work for me. Let me help you do that. Not only to keep you off the streets, because you ain't trying to be in the streets anyway, but also show other people that I can create lanes for everybody. You ain't got to just do what I did.
If you're a great cook, bro, let's try to get you a restaurant. See what we can do. You know what I'm saying?
Vector 90 still exists, everybody. Just if y'all are in this area and you want to kind of, indulge yourself in something like what we were speaking of, Vector 90 still exists. I don't know them niggas. They don't pay me no money. But that is an avenue.
Just because it's part of the conversation, we shout you out. But unless you want to send some endorsements or something our way, or unless you want to, let us come help you out in some capacity, that's cool too. But, we ain't going to dive too
our
deep
opportunity types of all those types of things. Fucking, you can Google it, folks. Shit.
Yeah, we'll let you do your own research since we ain't getting paid to do it for you.
All that. All right, that's it. Another episode. Hating ass Michael pulled up. With way less hate.
And hate for the next time I show up.
Chad Ossa, King Carter on Instagram. Michael the PG.
Yeah.
Fucking shoot your show out, man.
Hey, what's up, man? Michael the PG. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Courtside Radio. Make sure you check it out. TGN Sports, that's what I'm rocking with. Don't at me with Michael and Alex. We got a lot of great stuff coming. So, man, make sure y'all check out your boy.
All right, that's it. We out here, bitch.
I'm flying with Lena. I'm riding with Nina. One right for the shy, one right where I need her. The funny thing is, I'll always be single. I love me some Logan. I love me some